Welcome back for part 2 of Goodbye FiTech, Hello Holley. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it up here somewhere. Go back and watch that, and then come back here for part 2, and we'll find out if we can get this old girl back on the road again. And then also come back at the very end of this video because I just got an email from FiTech to let me know whether or not they were going to warranty the unit for this car. So come back at the very end and I'll let you know what's going on there. And also thank you to everybody that went over to Instagram and followed me over there after I told you that I had something in the garage I couldn't show you. It's still in there and I still can't show you. But if you go to Instagram and follow me, a lot of times I have some daily updates over there and you get a little sneak peek of what's coming up on the Montana garage. Now, last time you went over there for the update, you might not have saw anything because I put it as an Instagram story and those only stick around for 24 hours. But I'll put something else up there, then you'll know what's in the shop and what's coming up on a future video. Thanks for watching. It is a brand new day. Just got out to the shop this morning and my buddy Moose was already out here. He was out here with me last night, and then when I left the shop, I called for him and he didn't come. And so I thought he must have been outside somewhere. Well, he was cuddled up somewhere in here and got to spend the night in the shop. So if there was any mice in here, hopefully you got them. I don't think there's any mice around here, not with Moose on the patrol. Anyways, it's a new day. I have a carburetor in a bazillion and one pieces, and I'm going to see if I can put it back together and get that car running finally. So the first thing you got to do is put the base plate back on the main body, whatever that's called. So found the gasket I need. In this kit they give you like, it's obviously good for several different kits, and these are all pretty similar. It's got holes, a few different holes in the different spots, but I think I found the right one. And then this bad boy goes back on here like so. Make sure it's mostly lined up. And we'll start putting her together. Now to try to figure out where all these bad boys go. Good luck to me. Alright, once you get past the fact that there's a bazillion little O-rings and gaskets you can't organize, and it's pretty obvious even for a guy like me to figure out where they are, so I'm sure you could do it too. So now we're rolling along a little better, so we'll keep on going here. Starting to look like a carburetor again. I thought I was doing pretty good. All I thought I had left to do is basically put this choke and the vacuum secondary thing back on. And then I saw this thing laying here. And I remember seeing it last night and not knowing what it was. So luckily, means I didn't know what it was, I took a video of it. And it goes in the primary metering block. So I gotta take it back apart. No surprise. Alright, so I'm down to messing with the vacuum secondary, and it says in the instructions there's a little check ball. It says, be careful not to lose the check ball inside the assembly. There was no check ball in here, so somebody's been in here before, I guess. Maybe, or something, but I assume it went in this little hole here. There's kind of a little spot where the gasket goes funky. So, yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll put it back together like that, and if the secondaries don't work, I'll know there's maybe something to do with that. Bummer. Well, here we have hopefully a functioning carburetor. A lot of extra little gaskets. They say that that's, you know, normal. Shouldn't be freaked out that there's extra parts. I replaced all the little washers and gaskets I had, and then you can see, well, we got a base plate gasket and a gasket for the air cleaner, but all this other stuff is just extra. So let's get it back on the car and see if it works. All right, she's back together. I think I have everything hooked up. All the vacuum lines, fuel line, 4 bolts are tight, linkage. Make sure it works. Let's just hook the battery back up. Let's turn the key on. Let the clickety-clack fill it up with gas. And see how many leaks I have now. Probably more than I had when I started. That's how my luck works. Yep, holy shit. I was kind of joking, but it's leaking like a son of a bitch. What the hell did I do? Look at that. Well, okay, obviously something is wrong. Impressive. Even I am impressed that I screwed something up this bad. So, if you do the carburetor rebuild kit, even though, like I said, you just kind of read along and follow the instructions is basically what you do if you don't know what you're doing like me. But it did say every step wasn't listed in the instructions, probably because some of them are common sense. But when it says to put the float bowl back on, it says, you know, put the little gaskets on the things and apply the float bowl, or the primary, yeah. I didn't put the gasket in there. I wonder why it's leaking. Yeah, it's probably because that gasket's not there. So let's try this again. My point about the instructions is it didn't say, you know, apply the gasket. And it shouldn't have to say that, but just when you're just reading the instructions and doing what it says and following step, you just kind of don't think about it, I guess. So, my bad. Current situation. It appears that we have no more fuel leaks. I grabbed a rag and tried to sop up most of the gas that's laying on here, so when it backfires through the carburetor and starts a giant fire, it's not quite as giant as it would have been. I do have a fire extinguisher handy. Probably should wait for this to dry off a little bit, but you know, I'm not that smart. All right, so let's turn it on again. Come back out here, check for leaks one more time. Before I had the battery, I was just turning it on and off with the battery, but I hooked the battery back up because I think we're good. Let me go turn the key on, take one more quick peek. And then I did check, we do have gas squirting, you know, in the carburetor. Clicky clacky's running a little bit, but I think the carburetor bowls are full. No gas dumping out anywhere on this side. No obvious gas coming out on this side. Now the backfire through the carburetor thing, that is an actual honest concern because the timing is not set from messing with the Pertronics deal, but let's see what happens when we turn the old key. Fire extinguisher right there. There, that's the first time this thing's ran in like a month. Set the timing. I'm sure I gotta adjust the idle screws. Float bowls might need adjusted. Sounds like she's kind of skipping around a little. Anyways, it's working. Let's figure out how to do some tuning. The curse of the DD Speed Shop 57 continues. This thing, I tell you, I know it's more me than the car probably, but this thing is going to be the death of me. I can't get anything to go right. So I rebuilt the carburetor, and now it's down here in the junk pile with FiTech. The car would run, but I could not get it to idle down. It had a vacuum leak somewhere somehow, so undoubtedly something I screwed up on the rebuild. I don't know what it could be. I put all the little gaskets back and whatever, but unless it has something to do with that check ball and the vacuum secondaries, don't know. But I found my other carburetor. This is the carburetor that's supposed to be on my 55 Chevy. So this one's a little bigger. I figured it was a little overkill for this engine, but that's why I wanted to use the other one. I put this on here and it wouldn't squirt because this has been sitting around for 10 years. So I took it back off and I put the old squirter diaphragm out of that carburetor in it, put it back on. It still wouldn't squirt. I actually have a rebuild kit on hand for this because that's what I was thinking about doing before I found the other carburetor. So I took just the squirter out of the rebuild kit, put the new squirter in, you know, the little diaphragm down here that makes it squirt when you step on the gas. And by golly, I mean, it's freaking 3 o'clock. I've been out here messing around all day. But I think I got a running car finally. Idles down. Starts right up. I gotta go get some vacuum tea so I can hook up the vacuum correctly to the transmission. And then also I was messing around, the little linkage came loose. And I need some help here somebody to hold that on the inside, so I can't go for a drive yet until I get that figured out. But progress, maybe, finally. All right, I don't know where we left off at. I haven't been filming much, but it's dark out and I'm still fighting. This car is gonna just, it fights me every bit of the way. Rebuilt carburetor. I couldn't get it to idle down. It would start, but it would idle like at 2,000 RPM. So I had a leak, or air leak or something somewhere, couldn't figure it out. Put this carburetor on there. Started right up, idled down, seemed fine. Had to take care of a few other things, went for a drive, runs like crap. It's cutting out, sputtering, dying, or it didn't, I mean, it wouldn't die, but it was just, you know, missing really bad. Came back, messed with a few things, couldn't get it any better. That carburetor is unknown, means the squirter was wrong. I didn't know if maybe it was dripping fuel inside because gaskets are bad or something. So I fought with this carburetor again. I put a different base plate gasket on it. And it seemed like it got better, but it still had a vacuum leak. I could only get it down to idle like at 1100. And then it still was running like crap. The only thing I changed after that is see the yellow plug wire on there. That plug wire, means these don't have 90-degree boots and there's headers. That one was actually touching the header. I had taped it up before. So I was worried, well, maybe it's, you know, shorting out right there. It's missing on that cylinder because the spark plug wire is touching the header. So I stole that off my 55 engine. No difference in the running like crap, but for some reason after I did that, then it would idle down fine. I don't understand that myself. Now it seems like this carburetor works. At least I had to actually turn the idle screw up to get it to idle. So I don't know what's going on there. And then I still can't get it to run. It cuts out and misses and sputters. I took all the plugs out. All the plugs looked decent. Number 7 looked a little oily. They all looked a little sooty, like it's been running rich. But I mean, I've had 3 different fuel systems on here. I've been dumping gas down the carburetor. It hasn't ran more than, you know, in and out of the driveway and around the block in the last month. So I can't really say that it's running rich. I mean, I have no idea. I'm probably gonna have to, if I need to change jets and stuff in there, but that shouldn't be causing how bad it's running right now. I can't find any more plug wires. I turned the lights off. I can't find any sparks flying around anywhere. So the only things I've changed is the carburetor 3 or 4 times, you know, FiTech carburetor, different carburetor, different carburetor, different carburetor, blah, blah, blah. And since it was running with the FiTech before, I had points, and now I got this stinking Pertronix igniter. Now it starts, it runs, but that's the only thing I can think of that's causing my miss. Like maybe that thing still isn't working right. Like it, I don't know. It's just, you know, it stumbles, almost falls on its face, but it doesn't seem like a fuel thing. It seems like it's shutting itself off, like it's missing power-wise. So I'm going to take that out and put the points back in, see what that does. Oh, and I know how my luck works with this car, so I'm going to change all that stuff around, and it's not going to help. But I don't know what else to try. It's got new cap, new rotors. The spark plug wires all look good. The plugs are new, and they all look good. I mean, obviously the carburetor is the new unknown in the Pertronix, so I don't know that the carburetor, you know, I tried messing with the idle screws, but just the way it's running doesn't seem like carburetor, or how bad it's running doesn't seem like carburetor problem to me. It's not like it's just bogging out. It's just like totally cutting out. So I don't know what else to try. I'm gonna mess with the ignition system and we'll be back. New plan, I guess, I don't know. This thing, even when it ran with the FiTech, if you guys have been following along, you know that it had like a low RPM miss that I could never figure out. So people suggested to me that maybe the distributor wears out, there's some bushings or I don't know, it's something in there, and you get a little more play in it. And I checked it before and I thought it felt, you know, decent, but so I know it's supposed to move a little bit, but left and right, and then actually kind of pops up, and I can kind of lift up on it. So this is the part that concerns me, is how much up play. So now let's go back over here to my distributor on my 55 motor engine, I guess. It don't come up at all. Obviously it has a little free play, going left and right, like if I spin the rotor, but there's no uppy. So maybe that's the problem. So I guess maybe that means I need to pull a distributor. I was trying to not do that because that's just not a lot of fun, but yeah, it's got to be something. So I guess we'll pull the distributor out of there and I'll swap it for that one. And then we'll be back. All right, got the distributors over here on the surgery table and my luck continues. So this is the new old distributor. Came out of my 55 engine. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. But there's that amount of play there. And this is the one that was in the 57. So it just has a ton more up and down play. I don't know if that's normal or bad or what, but so while I was doing this, I decided to check my vacuum canister on the other distributor here, because I've done that on the DD Speed Shop one because that's one of the things I checked and I was trying to figure out why it wasn't running right earlier. But so there's probably a smarter way to do this, but here's how I do it. That one don't work. I can't create a vacuum in there. It just keeps blowing air or sucking air. So I took this one off of there and we'll swap this canister onto there because this one works. We're not going to move the plate, but watch that little rod right there. See, I can suck that in. This one ain't sucking nothing. So it sucks because it doesn't suck. So I'll get them swapped around, and then I got to put the Pertronics on the new one and get it back in the engine. Moose, answer me this, Moose. Do you believe in miracles? He's not talking. How about you guys? Do you believe in miracles? I don't really believe in miracles, but I think it might be a miracle that I think this thing actually works now. Did the whole distributor swap, and I think it works. Got it close to timed. I did do one quick little burner on the block. I had a little scare again. This thing likes to scare me. The old throttle struck to the floor again. The linkage, I didn't have the coil up out of the way, and the linkage hit the coil and stuck. So I had to lock up the old brakes. She shut off after that though. So I came back in. The headlights on this thing are next to worthless. So I took the headlight rings off. You can see it's not quite as pretty as it was a second ago, but I aimed the headlights up because they shine to about right here, it seemed like. So I aimed them up. Now that I told all you folks it works, it probably won't start, but we are going to go for a little cruise. Not very far because, like I said, the lights are garbage. Hopefully they're a little better. Means we aimed them up. No fuel injection, so I got to pump her a couple times. A little smoother than she was before the distributor swap. Lights on, hard to tell. Reverse. Try not to run over Trey's square body or my trucks or any kids or Moose the cat, wherever he's at. So this thing basically cost me 2 more days of my life, but knock on vinyl or whatever these seats are made out of. Hopefully it's in a position where we can drive it a little bit before the snow shows up. You guys see nothing but darkness, right? That's all I see too. Nobody's coming. Backup lights aren't very good either, like non-existent. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, hey, they're not there. That's all right. I didn't have them on my 55, I don't have them on my 57 either. Well, the lights are way better. I can actually see a little bit. That's the brights, but I was basically scared to go around the block a minute ago because I figured I was going to run somebody over so I couldn't see them. No stumble bumble. I'm not going to say that it has race car status yet. Still doesn't seem like it's got, you know, tons of power, but at least it's smooth now, running how I think it's supposed to be. I'm sure there's some more fine tuning I can do with the carb. I tried to adjust the little idle screws just by sound or whatever. Hook up the vacuum gauging a little better. I should have washed the window too. That would help me be able to see something. All right, anyways, that's it. Hopefully I have more than enough footage to make some sort of video out of this, and I'm going to be back to work on the 55 hopefully tomorrow, and then we'll do some more stuff to this, and we'll have hopefully some driving videos, and I won't be back with a fail video on the 57. So I don't know what's going on out here. Not supposed to be any traffic yet, like, I don't know, you know, it's like 11 o'clock at night. All right. Oh, here, I guess we're out of the houses. That's see how she sounds opened up as we take off down around the block here. Catch you guys next time. All right, what'd you think? Sounds pretty good, huh? It feels good to finally be driving this thing. I've had no more issues since I made the video. I've been driving it quite a bit, grocery getter, going to town, that sort of stuff, and it does get quite a bit of attention. It's a cool old car, just like I've been saying the whole time, and it feels good to get past all those issues I've been having. Now, this was a little bit more of an ordeal than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be take the FiTech off, put a carburetor on, hook up a fuel line, and just like everything else with this old car and me anyways, it was a bit more of a battle, but we finally got to the end of the battle and we're driving it, so it feels good. FiTech finally got back to me. We've been emailing back and forth a little bit, and at first their initial response was, you know, unfortunately we can't warranty this if you don't have proof of purchase. And I think that was just that's probably their standard response. If you call and try to get a warranty, if that's their their rule, you know, no proof of purchase, no warranty work. Once I explained a little more of the situation, you know, whoever I was talking to talked to somebody else, and they got back and said, yeah, we're going to take care of this. So thank you, FiTech, for being willing to step up and stand behind your product. So I put it in a box and shipped it off today back to California. I have no idea how long it's going to take before I get it back. So obviously I have the carb on it now, and I'll cruise it around until then. And then once the FiTech shows back up, I know a lot of people have strong opinions about whether or not I should put that back on, but if they're going to fix it, I'm going to give them a second chance, and I'm going to put it back on. So sticking with the spirit of the build, they were cool enough to, you know, donate the product to Dan when he built the car. You know, did the initial build over there on DD Speed Shop. Thanks again to Dan over there. And then, you know, FiTech says they're willing to stand behind it. We've had a few issues since we've had the car here with it, but you know, if they're willing to stand behind a product, I'm willing to give it a second chance. So once I get it back, we'll do some sort of video. You know, a lot of the components, or some of the components, the fuel pump and the fuel line, some of that stuff is already in. So I don't have to do like a full FiTech install, but we'll do a little video of me installing what they send me back and hooking it all up, and then you can criticize how I got it wired and all that stuff, and hopefully I'll get it all right, and it'll be you know, no problems. We'll have no FiTech issues videos, and just cruising with my FiTech videos in the future. So that's what we're hoping for. So thanks again for everybody for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're sneaking up on that 5,000 subscriber number, and yeah, I'm hoping to be able to give something away at that point. I'm still going to do the 4,000 subscriber giveaway real soon, I promise, and I have stickers actually on the way, so stay tuned for that too. Thanks for watching.